Good morning, everyone. Boy, we had a scare there for a minute. It didn't look like my camera was going to work. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a TikTok update. I don't know if it was user error. Could have been anything. Alex said no sound. No sound. Huh. Holy smokes. Hold on, everybody. Let me see if I can figure this out here.
Yep. Once you pulled me into the box, the sound started working.
That's weird. Oh, man, I'm telling you guys, something's going on today. All right. Yeah, everybody said, oh, some people are saying I can't hear you. Some are saying I can. Quiet audio. Huh. Well, it doesn't surprise me because when I first fired everything up, I had no camera. And of course, I immediately called Alex and we got the camera working, but I don't know what the heck happened to the rest of it. Well, I guess we're up and running at this point. Hi, Alex.
Good morning.
So yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. That was really weird. That's bizarre. Oh well, we're here. We're live. We are ready to rock. And boy, is there a lot to talk about today, you guys. Holy cannoli. This is incredible, to say the least. There is so much happening every day. Oh, my camera's off. Hold on. There we go. All right. Holy smokes. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. What's up?
Well, we've had some issues this morning, but it looks like it's starting to settle down.
Monday morning issues.
I'm telling you, man, I didn't touch anything. I promise I wasn't pushing buttons. Good morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
How goes it, Mr. James?
Well, we got a big thaw going on up here. Just about out of snow.
Oh, wow. Excellent. I mean, I guess that's good, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me say some good mornings here. Let's see here. Who do we... Hits is here. Hitesh said, hi, Sam. Happy Monday to you and all our friends here. Happy Monday to you, too. Brian said, good morning. XRP Mama Minnie, hello to you. Rick Sr., XRP Mama is here. Hey, XRP Mama. Chris DB from Hayesville, Kansas. Rick Sr., Blue Flames 41. Of course, now the chat's going to give me some static here. Holy smokes. All right, let's see here. I Speak 1717 is here. Dana Mackey. FKN Darren. I'm not going to say what I think that means. Jay Hicks from North Carolina is here. Kevin Kiesler. Joy. Holy smokes. Gigi20 said, top of the morning to ya. Same to you, Gigi. April Lynn 80, Andrea Lynn 81 is here. She can hear us just fine. Melfin71 put in her username, a.k.a. Melissa Flitter. Exactly. You guys are helping me out here with the names. Sue B27 is here. Good morning, Sue. Valerie James. Hello, Valerie. There's the beautiful pure blood Holly John said, good morning, Samily. Same to you, Holly. Brian said loud and clear. Cindy Hayden 59 is here as well. Mary Lee's Brown Ego from Eastern Iowa. Sue B is here. Good morning, Sue. Rick Sr. said no sound. Oh, we got a Trump train from Dawn the Third G. Thank you, Dawn. PJ Party is here. Good morning, Peggy. Richard just popped in. Martini time. Beaver from Colorado Springs. Brian said, James, where'd your hair lip go? Laugh out loud. I don't get that. Paco's here. He said, I woke up late. That's all right. At least you're here, Paco. Charlie is here. Good morning, Charlie. Doug Rice 59. Helpful Honey is here. Holy smokes. Let me see if I can get caught up on the chat here. Barb 7599. Thank you, Martini time. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is crazy. What the chat's doing today. Not the individuals, but the technology. That's all right. We'll get through it. Okay, Alex, let's get some indices going here this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday on this wonderful March 9th, 2026. Markets, man, what a weekend. S&P 500 is down 31.
We got a Trump trade. I wasn't going to interrupt, but I had to. Sorry.
Who sent it? Because I'm going to mute him.
It was Mary Lee Brown. No, you can't mute Mary Lee. She's a
Well,
sweetheart.
I can, but I won't.
Well, exactly.
S&P 500 down 31 points to 6,708. The Dow is down 423 points. We're 3,000 points off that 50,000 high. 47,077. NASDAQ down 11 points to 22,376. Looking at the commodities market, looks like oil. Wow, my charts are all jacked up this morning. Bear with me just a second.
That's okay, because I had the same problem on my end.
Yeah, they've completely moved what was going on.
I thought mine were jacked up and it was up to 116 or 118 or.
Well, I saw this morning and it was back down in the
It
80s
is.
range. But it's not on my list here for whatever reason. But neither is silver. Gold is down $54 to 5,104. Let's see. Can I find what is going on?
Crude oil 96.48
Nice.
and silver is at 84.6.
Okay. 84.6. Moving over to the crypto markets. Looking pretty good this morning after a terrible couple of days, but currently Bitcoin is up 2.7% at 69,033. XRP is up again at 1.39% at $1.36. Ethereum up 4% at 2,030. Stellar Lumen XLM up 1.5 at 15 cents. Cardano up 2.7 at 26 cents. Still a good time to jump on the train, ladies and gentlemen. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion for entertainment and educational purposes only. Buy the dip.
Exactly.
One other small little post that happened on this date in 2019. It's a picture of a frog riding a Moab pointed at the ground, and the next two say sealed, less than unsealed indictments coming. A old Twitter post, all caps, it says treason, and below that it says it's about to happen, be vigilant.
Compare and contrast that with what the White House posted, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Holy smokes.
That's
Lisa
why I threw it.
Maria's here. Good morning, Lisa. Wendy, Donna Fox, Robbie Miller, CG. Holy smokes. Hometown Girl is here. Melissa, thank you for all the gifts. You're so sweet. Richard. Good morning, Richard. Thank you for the gifts, brother. T Rainey 2 is here. Holy smokes. Mary Lee's Brown said, don't worry, Mary Lee. He's not going to mute you. He's just playing around. T Rainey 2 is here. Good morning, T Rainey. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. All right, Dave, what do we have for farming and agriculture today?
Well, we have having such swings, I had to just renew them because this corn and beans and wheat were looking great. Now they're mixed and down across the board, just like oil apparently. Corn is down 1 to 6. Soybeans are mixed. Wheat is down 1 to 5. Cattle's down 1.4%, and hogs are down 1%. USDA warns travelers as African swine fever threat persists in the Caribbean. So I am truly going to go check that out on Friday. Head down to Puerto Rico and do a few things down there. So I'll have a busy 8 days, and I'll be in when I can.
That you're going to Puerto Rico when?
Puerto Rico on Friday.
On Friday. What's going on down there? Vacation?
Spring break.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
Pineapple juice.
Yeah, we're going to be looking into dragon fruit and coffee. We're going to be doing a few things for the podcast down there also. So we can have a ride off.
Let me guess. There's a casino nearby.
There probably is. If I can find it, I'll see if there's one there.
I figured you would.
Dos cerveza por favor.
Exactly. Richard Pacente's here on YouTube. Good morning, Rick. Rick Sutton is here on YouTube. Rick Sr. from TikTok. Hey, Rick. Jeez, we got trolls going already. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Diva53 is here. Good morning, Diva. Traveling Man said, just got back from there. Oh, interesting. Hey, Martin's WB is here. Hey, Martin, what the heck's going on, brother? Benji1959 said, hey, guys, sorry I'm late. Well, you should be sorry, young man. Just kidding. Just glad you're here. All right, let's see here. James, what do we have for military today?
Well, it's sad to report that the United States has now lost its seventh soldier in combat action. He was initially wounded during an attack in Saudi Arabia on March 1st. President Trump has requested a ceasefire, yet Iran refuses to respond. He's requested guarantee freedom of navigational passage by putting an end to the de facto closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Although Iran has named another leader, the second son of Khomeini, 47 says unless the leader is approved by the United States, he won't last long. All countries in the region here have the same goal. Iran get a transitional regime that aligns with peace and not terroristic ideologies.
Well, the question is, how many hours is the new guy going to last if he doesn't conform to what President Trump is asking? It's
the second son of Khomeini? There's no way he's going to prove that. No way.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, who knows what kind of hootenanny goes on behind the scenes, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Hokey Gigi. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something. I don't know. Donna Fox and Ben, thank you for the gifts. I was in a little quandary there. Wasn't sure what word to use. Oh my gosh!
That's one for Lisa Marie to write down.
We got another Trump trade from Ben. Thank you, Ben. Oh my, yeah, exactly. No, that's not an interstateism. That's that.
Wow.
XRP Mama Mini said Udi Lolly. Mega Man said Putinanny. Exactly. Melissa wants to know how I spell that. I have no idea, Melissa. What the hell do I know? It's Monday morning. We're having technology issues. Oil's going up. We're at war, supposedly. Who the hell knows what's going on? I don't know. Mary Lee Brown, John Langloy, thank you all for the gifts. Very kind of you. All right. Well, let's see if I can get this other screen to work here. Jeez. Monday morning. Oh, my word. All right. So this first story is really interesting. So Robert Malone, MD, who was one of the inventors. Ooh, thanks, Ben. Who is one of the inventors of wow, Ben's really lighting us up today. Who's one of the inventors of the mRNA vaccine, has now been appointed to the United Nations to serve on a committee that will investigate bioweapons. Oh, look at that from Charlie. Now, I find it very interesting that he has been very outspoken against the jabs, and now all of a sudden he's part of the United Nations. If you don't smell plan through all of that, I don't know what to tell you, James.
Well, he is a physician and a biochemist. He addresses heavy incidents like accidental shipping of live anthrax by labs. He points out systemic threats. He's up on things like Omnivore, a clandestine war waged in every domain, including psychological.
Psychological?
Yeah, psychological.
So I'm not the only one with the twisted tongue this morning. Okay.
And biological warfare. So somebody that's as reared as he is in education on this and the forefronts that he's been looking at, I think he's the perfect candidate for the job.
100%. Dave?
Yeah, it's interesting, both biochemical and UN. Is the UN going to be around? What's the purpose of this? It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Alex, what do you think? Is he going to blow the whistle? Is he going to be part of the plan to blow the whistle?
I'm praying, please, Lord, Nuremberg 2.0. He's got a Substack where he covers politics, public health, bioethics, and things like homesteading. I think he's a pretty well-rounded individual, obviously a very intelligent man. And if this administration wants to put him forward in that seat, I am all for it.
100%. Could not agree more. Pure Blood Holly Johns, Donna Fox, Melfin71, a.k.a. Melissa Flinner. Thank you all for the gifts. No, hey, Niz Mariu's here. Hey, Niz. Glad you could make it. Let's see here. What was the name? So it was Robert Malone. What was the other doctor? Peter. You guys remember his name? He was against the jabs. Peter. I think his first name was Peter. I can't remember what. Anyway.
St. Ange?
No. I forget his name. Somebody in the chat will remind me. Anyway, I wonder if he's going to make an appearance on that board as well with the UN. And I think the UN has been dealt with. I think they're under submission. And I think McCullough. There it is. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, I think that I would not be surprised if we wound up seeing him getting involved at some level.
How about Sherry Tenpenny?
Yeah, exactly. Very good point, Alex. Very good. Taz Nemo said, Sam doesn't say hi to ops. What do you mean? I know. I always say hi to you, Taz. Of course I do.
He's been dragging the chain this morning.
Who?
Taz.
Oh, well, Taz. No, I was actually on her show at one point, so I don't. Of course, I say hello. I don't always see him, especially at my age. But other than that, I do say hello, whether you agree with us or not. Wildlife fan, thank you for the gifts. You're so sweet. Jester said, "Is his microphone quiet or is it on my end?" I don't think my microphone's quiet. Is it?
Sounds fine.
Huh? I don't know. Oh well. All right, moving on. So BlackRock had restricted withdrawals from their flagship private credit fund after outflows surged. Are we starting to see even more of the central banking system break apart, Alex?
Yeah, and this is an interesting one. We've covered BlackRock quite a bit, but there was a pretty significant fluctuation over the weekend in markets, and they were limiting those that are invested with them on what they could do. Just another sign that the system is broken. I should be able to do what I want to do with my money and my investments when I want to do it, not when Robinhood or BlackRock or Coinbase or any others out there decide. I think that as we move to a more blockchain friendly world, that freedom is then at my fingertips. But there's gonna be some more news come out about this. Their stock dropped 7% over the weekend. There's something happening. Liquidation of things. There was a huge amount of crypto movement on the downside over the weekend, people dumping. So we'll see. I think, is it in preparation for, the switch, as you say, Sam? I don't know. I think these things take an exorbitant amount of time. I don't think there's just a switch that you can flip, but we are certainly laying some groundwork on the back end.
100%. James?
Well, this private fund you're talking about is a $26 billion fund. The withdrawals reached $1.2 billion, exceeding 5% of their quarterly limit. It's the first time it's ever happened, and they did allow $620 million to be withdrawn. It highlights growing stress in the private credit market and investor anxiety. The move resulted in a 7.2% drop in BlackRock shares, but conversely, Blackstone, the real estate investor, they realized the same type of activity, and I don't know what they blocked. I didn't study on Blackstone because it's not part of the topic, but they too moved in the same manner. It's no different than a private person going to their bank and requesting $50,000 or $150,000. You're not just going to be able to go in and do that. They're not going to allow it. You have to place an order. Oh, I can too, but still, it's leading us into interesting times. And basically, what it does with BlackRock is it suggests a naked short. They don't have the liquidity.
Yep. David?
Well, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the idea, is to take down, since BlackRock is so big, one of the two majors, to take them down and expose it. Same thing as shorts on silver, right?
Yep. Yep. Speaking
So
about precious metals, Layson Steele just popped in. She's doing a lot. She posted some videos of what they're doing where she's at in terms of gold mining. Man, really interesting stuff. You guys should go watch her Layson Steele's video. It's pretty cool. Good job, Lace. Rhonda's here. Hey, Rhonda. Let's see who. Somebody. Oh, Doug Rice 59 said, "Where's Towie Bixby today?" I don't know. She's usually here. I'm sure she's fine, but who knows? Lee is here. Rick Senior said, "I'm on my phone now. I can hear." Okay, well, I really think it's a TikTok issue. Enrico just showed up. He said, "Grand Rising, all beautiful souls, sending love from Northern California. No more Newscomb free Cali." Exactly. Exactly. John Langlois said, "A beautiful day for the Sam fam." Boy, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
Didn't we have a time change over the weekend?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why numbers are
Ooh.
a little wonky. People are like, I'm as confused as the clock.
Yeah, it could very well. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you could be right. Kathleen Garcia just showed up. Hi, Kathleen.
I know Sam's dispatch was out really early this morning, and I was so thankful for that.
Everybody help us out because of the time change. If you would just share it out for a little bit. Let's see if we can alert the masses.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Alex. Kathleen Paskey just showed up over on Facebook. Hey, Kathleen. Glad you could make it. Let's see here. Melvin71. Melissa Flitter said, "Do you lovely ladies see Pete on 60 Minutes last night?" I'm sure that they did. Wouldn't surprise me. XRP Mama Minnie said, "Crash it. It's crashing." I don't know if it's going to crash or if it's going to transition, but it's happening. Rhonda said, "Yes, we did. I very much dislike springing forward." Oh, you're talking about the you're talking about Pete. Pure Blood Holly John said, "I did." Lisa Maria said, "Hell yes, I did." That doesn't surprise me. Even Blue Flames 41 chimed in. Oh, you girls crack me up with Pete. That just cracks me up. So President Trump said that Cuba's communist regime is next to fall. Ominous words, but believe me, there's a plan behind it. Dave?
Yeah, they're definitely in the talks. Obviously, Marco Rubio is going to be in charge of managing it, so we'll see what it consists
He's
of. I don't know.
in charge of everything, man. It's crazy.
I know. That's why he's going to go down as the number one. What is it? The state, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, better than. What is this title?
Can you say
Homeland
Central
Security.
Casting?
Secretary of State. That's it, too.
Exactly. James?
Well, this is all due to intense economic and political pressure. A lot of people don't know this, but Marco Rubio is the son of Cuban immigrants. He's already negotiating with Cuban officials and is seeking insiders willing to facilitate a transition away from the communist rule.
Yep, exactly. Alex?
I just want them to bring back the TV show called Cuban Chrome.
What's that?
So because of the embargoes and the sanctions and the pretty much isolation of that country, they got trapped in time. If you look at the history of Cuba, we all know, I mean, it used to be like the Las Vegas of the hemisphere, right? Beautiful buildings, thriving environment, thriving people. And there was an exorbitant amount of 1950s cars, right? And so in the brief amount of time that some of that was lifted in 2015, there was a show called Cuban Chrome, which followed a bunch of different families and how they've been able to continue to keep their cars going because you can't get parts for them. And so in a lot of these situations, they will modify a boat motor to put in their car to be able to keep the cars on the street. But it's such a cool show. Being a car guy, but no, I mean, on the broader spectrum of it, I think the world sentiment, if you're going to oppress the people to enrich yourself, like the son of Iran, Ayatollah, net worth like 300 million yachts and houses all over the world, while the people of the country truly suffer. It's time for change, and I think it's coming.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. XRP Mama Mini said transition's good. What's that?
That right there. Look at Dave's background.
Oh yeah, very cool.
So
Very cool. And no computers involved, I might add.
Right.
Trains don't get me, but you show me an old classic car and I'm squirrel.
Exactly. XRP Mama Mini said transitions are good too. Exactly. XRP Mama said it's darkest before the light. Words of wisdom. Absolutely, I agree. Oh, let's see here. CG said, why are gas prices going up? That's a very good question, CG. So we're going to kind of do a little detour here. President Trump takes care of Venezuela first to make sure we have backup plan, right? Then we're working on Iran. What is interesting is the oil shipments have not gone down to the United States of America, as far as I know, yet the prices are going up. What does that show you? It shows the public the manipulation, probably by the big banks, probably not by big oil, but by the big banks. And when we talked about the Strait of Hormuz, when it comes to Lloyd's of London controlling the maritime insurance policies there, all of that is being broken down in real time. President Trump came out and said, we might have higher prices here for a little bit, but hold on because it's going to get better. As in fact, here in Los Angeles, I've seen it as high as $8 a gallon just in the last day. $8 a gallon. So, but I'm okay with that. Short-term pain equals long-term gain. Dave, what do you think?
No, I agree wholeheartedly with that. It's I was shocked when I got on and seen that last night. I was like, because that controls a lot on my side. I mean, we're talking 30 to 40% between fertilizers and diesel and everything else. Obviously, it's down at 93.7 right now on crude oil. So it's dropped hugely, but it's still up 3%.
Right.
Yeah, it's just all, it doesn't affect us. We bring in less than 10% in the United States, and Venezuela should well be taking that up right now, all
Right.
day long.
And on top of that, Secretary Chris Wright came out on Fox News yesterday, and he said, because of the U.S. Israel strikes on Iran, a large tanker has safely passed through the Strait of Hormuz. He said he talked about several different things, but he said, be cautious, but energy will flow soon. James, what do you make of that?
You know, this report should have came out a little bit earlier on Friday. We probably wouldn't have seen this $119, $118 a barrel price. But the one thing that happened, and you mentioned the Lloyd's of London, I think this is somewhat of an attempt to let Britain know that they no longer control the fiat dollar. That's part of it. The other part is the guarantee from President Trump saying, hey, look, you don't need to insure with Lloyd's of London. They're not going to back you if you do get into a situation. So we will insure you. We'll get you insurance. And this is the key part, we'll escort your ship through the Strait of Hormuz to ensure your safety. So shipments are moving on both sides of the narrows, and we're getting them through. So, they're destroyers. They're not small air or small boats. They can shoot a long range missile out of either one of them on either side, and wherever that threat comes from, they're taken out.
Yeah, exactly. Pureblood Holly Johns, April Burgess, thank you all for the gifts. Why is my screen not? That's really weird. Steve, thank you as well. Melvin, Melissa, thank you. Daniel Mackey said, I totally agree, James. Yeah. So, how would I express this? There is so much happening right now. We talk about the political world. We talk about the world of agriculture. We talk about the monetary system. They're all converging right now. They're all coming together. And this hydra that has controlled the world for, if not hundreds of years, thousands of years, is coming to an end. There is going to be a point where it's going to be uncomfortable. And I think that's the point that we're in right now. Alex, how would you comment on it?
Well, I mean, you're right. The U.S. Has zero direct crude oil imports from Iran. Longstanding sanctions since '79 with the revolution. basically brought it to a zero volume in the recent years, like literally zero, 25 and 26. So that puts the U.S. as the number one producer, and we're self-sufficient. But the flip side of that is, the Straits of Hormuz. I think it's roughly 20 million barrels a day of oil pass through that, and oil is a global market, right? And so that does affect the global market, and because we buy and sell on a global market, we're impacted, and so it's going to take some time. U.S. refiners buy crude oil on global market. What's it say? Higher crude costs get passed through to gasoline and diesel quickly, even though the U.S. production is high. The global benchmark sets that tone. Disruptions anywhere ripple everywhere via futures markets and supply chain costs. And that brings up an interesting point. What else do we trade paper on? We trade paper oil. Like, maybe this is another piece of it that's gonna get fixed.
Yeah, exactly. XRP Mama Minnie, thank you for all the gifts. You're so sweet. So we had a comment in here that I want to respond to. And I think I lost it. Shoot. It was somebody questioning me, and oh, bummer. I think I lost it. Anyway, basically I was talking about short-term pain for long-term gain, and that person said, "Well, it's because you're rich, Sam." Well, I got news for you. I'm not rich. I went through a life-changing experience 10 years ago, and I lost everything. Everything. I had to start over. So if you think I'm rich, if you think I'm doing this for the money, you got another thing coming. If you knew how much I actually generate from the hours and hours I spend per day, trust me, you would have a different opinion if you knew all the details.
Yeah, and he lives in California.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, I mean,
I'm surprised you still have arms and legs with that $8 gas price.
I'm telling you guys, and I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm so grateful for everything I do have, but I am far from rich. Trust me. And unfortunately, I know that a lot of people are struggling. I get that. I struggle as well. We all do at this point, but it's going to come to an end, and we are going to enter into what President Trump calls the golden age. I call it the switch. There's a lot of good things happening. You just got to hang in there. So please hang in there, because it's going to get a lot better. All right, let's move on. So we talked a lot about cryptocurrencies over the last couple of years. Oh, thank you for the paper crane, Holly. You're so sweet. And it's interesting. Michael Saylor, who owns Strategy, they just bought some ridiculous amount of Bitcoin today. I think it was over 7,000 Bitcoin. It was like $1.2 billion. Now you have Kazakhstan, the central bank in Kazakhstan, is put up 350 million into Bitcoin and crypto. This is the beginning of, well, I shouldn't say the beginning. We're in the middle of this switch. It's happening as we speak. We may not be seeing it. It's kind of like, what is it, the Chinese palm tree, I think is what it is. You plant it, you water it, and it doesn't grow for 2 years. And then in a year's time, it grows 7 feet tall or something like that. That's part of what's happening right now, in my opinion. Alex, what do you make of it?
There's a lot of whale activity going on. When prices go down, you're going to see a large volume of buys. It depends on how far they go down. I am not the guru when it comes to, charts and wedges and this and that and the other, but you do see repeatedly when we have a pretty good run to the downside, it's either caused by a bunch of people selling, which immediately is followed by a bunch of people buying. When we say buy the dip, not financial advice, entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you, TikTok, for your feed. But as the market starts to stabilize with with more and more adoption. Other news, FedEx, Google, and some other are jumping on the HBAR wagon, right? Like there's some really big things happening, and it's not publicized because they're kind of having to eat crow. They've been telling you for 10 years that only, bad people do it, or it's a scam, or it's crap, and it'll never go anywhere. But, if you're in the know, you're in the know. And if it does take a massive run, don't dump it. This is the long-term gain, right?
Yep.
Like, set it and forget it. And in 10 years, you might want to think about my goal is to make it to 2030. We'll see where we're sitting at 2030. That's 4 more years, a 10-year run from 2020 to 2030. And if you look at the gains and what's gone on in the market, it's outperforming everything.
Yep. Exactly. James?
Well, like Alex often says, they better get in before the train leaves the station. And Alex, conversely, you bring up a pretty good topic of FedEx. This weekend, FedEx was just caught with fraudulent activity they were manipulating the speedometers to change mileages in their system so they could overcharge their customers. Wow. So when you talk about FedEx, it's kind of an interesting subject. I mean, it's just corruption at so many levels. But I agree. Everybody, all the countries need to get in on this system of crypto. I mean, it's the way of the world. It's the way of the future. And President Trump has given us every indication in many different ways of how we should get in, where we should get in, and as soon as you can with whatever you can, because Alex is exactly right. That train is rumbling and it's getting ready to roll.
Exactly. June 2024 is here, and Franny Dragonfly said, I'm late. That's okay, Franny, as long as you're here. Go ahead, Alex.
To put it in context so people understand, the way of the world for the last 100 years is by paper, right? Paper receipts, paper purchase orders, paper invoices. It was sped up a little bit with the invention of the internet and email. But when you start talking on a global scale, what blockchain technology and cryptography can do, secure instant transactions, instant purchase orders, instant payments, instant logistics. From a logistics standpoint, someone can drop what they need to drop into a system and immediately have it show up at the other end. And through automation and AI, it's processed at the speed of light, or almost, when you think about the internet. So the world's about to get a whole lot faster than it's been ever.
Exactly. Hey, Mama Bear's here. Hey, Mama Bear. She said, so long as I can pay my bills and have the love of my man, I'm good. Words of wisdom, Mama Bear. I was wondering if you were going to make it with the time change now. I think you're back on our schedule. At least I hope you are. Let's see here. Oh, AJMCSJ is here. Hey, AJM. Monique Gog says all RVs are getting sent back and are 60%. Is any such event worth it? I'm not sure what that means. Any ideas? Good.
Recreational vehicle market's crashing right now.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Wow. XRP Mama said you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Boy, isn't that the truth? And fortunately, I think that's a good thing, personally.
Why is that, Sam? Is that because they eat American food?
What?
Getting the genie back in the bottle.
No, I think you're talking about the central banking system. Doug Rice 59 said XRP 18,000 by 2030. I wouldn't be surprised. There's no way. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody knows what's actually going to happen and when. But XRP Mama, thank you for the lemonade. But again, time will tell. And I just encourage everyone, be of good cheer. So many wonderful things are happening. I've been in this fight since the late 80s, and that was almost 40 years now. I have never seen so many people wake up, so much revealing taking place. I've seen more in the last 4 years than in the last 4 decades. Be of good cheer. We're moving in the right direction, and I am confident of that. All right, let's do a quick. Oh, Wendy J, thank you for all the gifts. You're so sweet. Rick Sr., XRP Mama. Oh, thank you guys. CG sent the squirrel. Of course she did. Thanks, CG. All right, let's do a quick sponsor break. Mike Lindell, MyPillow. Go to mypillow.com, mystore.com. Use the code SAM. You'll get up to 80% off of all of your purchases. Secondly, Neil Naturopathic, chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products. Go to my website, click on Dr. Neil's button, neilnaturopathic.com. Use the code SAM20, SAM20. And Dr. Peter Glidden, he's with us every Friday. And now Dr. Neil has been joining us every Friday. It's wonderful. Lots of information flowing. If you have specific questions for Dr. Glidden, go to my website, click on Dr. Glidden's button, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount. Alex, what about some meditation today?
We all need it. Lots of world events happening, and we know that the news portrays everything as doom and gloom. You got to turn it off every once in a while. If you can integrate a daily pause in all of it with a simple meditation, the hormone regulation, the anxiety, the depression, all of the things start to kind of regulate themselves. Mindset is everything. So the link is in my TikTok profile, or you can search Alex Raymer on Amazon. Thanks, Sam.
Yep, of course, Alex. All right. Doug Rice 59 said the banks know they are finished. That's why all the banks are buying up crypto. So I don't think the banks are, how should I say this? I've always thought there was going to be a catalyzing event when it comes to the monetary system, a crash, a reevaluation, and that may happen, or it may simply be a process. Is the central banking system still going to be an option? Because there's going to be people that just don't understand the new economy, don't want to understand it, and you can't just leave them out in the cold. So will the central bank still be there? Probably at some level, but the people who are on top of it, the people that are going to move the fastest are the people that are embracing the new economy. And that's why I do these crypto classes, to teach people. And so many of the clients that I've taught are older to the point where they don't really even know how to work very well on a computer. And it'll take me hours to get through some of it with some people, but that's okay, because they need to start to understand blockchain. They need to understand the new economy, because that's the direction we're going. And that's part of the reason why I do it. So I just hang in there. We're moving in the right direction. Melfin71, Melissa said, do we want them totally in control of all of our money? Well, see, that's the thing though, Melissa, with Bitcoin specifically, they're not in control of it. It is a distributed ledger, which means that there are private computers all over the world that watch every transaction and verify it in each block. It's not controlled by any one person, any one corporation, or any one country. That's one of the beauties of Bitcoin. And I think we're going to see that technology integrated into this new system. What do you think, James?
Well, I totally agree with that, Sam. The banking systems, they're going to have to. Well, some are already storing it. Some are already utilizing it. Some are already letting people pay their bills. What we haven't heard, other than Florida, where banks are saying, "Hey, you can use rare earth minerals or precious metals like silver and gold."
Right. Exactly. Dave?
Well, I think it's going to be thinned out for sure. I mean, banks are going to have less and less purpose, obviously, as we move forward. But there'll still be some. But it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out, because we already know with all the even countries taking it over now, it's here. It's not going to go anywhere, and it'll get hot and fast here as we move forward.
Melissa said, I would think we would want to still have some type of cash flow. I don't think cash is going away, Melissa. I think we're moving away from the Federal Reserve notes, and we're moving into the new economy, which is going to be some sort of precious metal, blockchain-backed cash. So I don't think we're going to get rid of cash. I don't think that's the point. I think the point is to make sure that it can't be artificially increased or decreased, I think is more the reason for it. Alex, what do you think?
Well, that's a cold wallet. That's in my possession. My crypto, my investments, right here. So they would have to come in and physically have this in their hand, and they'd have to understand my passwords and their 24-word phrases and things that protect what I've got, right? So nobody's going to come in and take. But can you say that about your bank? Can you say that about a court order that comes in and seizes your funds from a bank account or other things? You can't. To James's point, there are 11 to 13 states: Utah, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Arizona, Wyoming, Kansas, South Carolina, Florida, West Virginia, and others coming on board, like Missouri, and Tennessee, Idaho, Alabama, that are putting on the legislation that precious metals, gold and silver, are legal tender. If you look at what they did to us by taking us off of a gold-backed dollar, some of the states are getting it right. Like, all right, let's bring this back. Pay attention, folks, because it's going to happen fast.
Melissa said, and Melvin71 said, so no banks. No, I think the banks are going to be there, and I think people are going to have a choice. Do you want to put your money in a bank that's going to pay you 0.03% in interest in your savings? Or do you want to put your money into a cryptocurrency, specifically a stable coin, that's going to pay you 3.5% to 5%? People are going to learn that as we go forward. 0.03 from traditional banks or 3.5 to 5.0 in stable coins. Well, obviously,
I think that's what's going to drive adoption, Sam. That's what's going to force the banks into this, because they're going to have to get on board, because they know if they don't, right, then they go away. What is a traditional, we've talked about this a lot. What does a traditional loan look like? The loan process to buy a house or a car, filling out apps, going in, running credit, doing this, doing that, setting up payments. You get the payment book, all of those things move to a blockchain scenario. And at the same time, banks are going to have to be in that crypto world to be able to provide those types of services, because what happens when Sam and I decide to do a transaction and the title to the car I'm buying from Sam, the money being transferred monthly, and everything is on a blockchain that somebody can't edit, can't mute, can't change, can't anything. It speeds up the process. The interest side of things, they're going to have to adopt it because they can't match the interest of what crypto's doing. Therefore, if they adopt crypto, maybe they can absorb some of the cost of making that switch, and rates will eventually match what someone can do individually. And that's where a bank would service somebody that maybe is not tech savvy or understanding of the crypto markets.
Rhonda said, it's hard because tech is not easy. I still like writing things down on paper. I get it, Rhonda, but how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. It takes time. It takes time to learn it. James, what were you trying to show me there? Sorry.
Oh, somebody says they like to write it on paper.
Oh,
me
yeah,
too.
exactly. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. I'm just saying, start to, broaden your horizons a little bit. XRP.
We're already on a digital system. Look at the 14 computers found where they can just create money out of thin air. Like, you go to a bank and it's all digital. Everything's already all digital. So this just takes that digital control away from those that don't and shouldn't have it, and gives it back to we the people.
There's one gamut that we haven't talked about for a while now. Is a lot of people say, for the working class anyway, how can I get into crypto? Well, they've made it so you can use your 401k or your investment and the contributing factor from your employer to get into crypto. So that's another way in that a lot of people they either forget or never even knew.
Yeah.
XRP Mama with that is paying the companies to manage that. Like, they shouldn't be getting a percentage to manage your 401k. But
XRP Mama Minnie said, I need more info on the cold wallet stuff. Okay, so we are going to do a get together at night, not at night, but late afternoon. And we're going to talk specifically about cryptocurrency. Maybe we can get that done this week. I don't know what Alex and James and Dave's schedules are, but XRP Mama Minnie, we will be talking about that. And we'll just do a kind of an impromptu evening get together and explain some of that. And in the meantime, you can always message me and I can walk you through if you'd like. Let's see here. Bob said, what is Alex's cold wallet? Alex uses a Ledger. I use a Trezor. James uses Arculus. Yeah, so there's different ones that are trustworthy. It just depends on what you're comfortable with and what you want to learn. They're all fairly similar, but again, it's something more that we'll have to go into it. Layson Steele said, we already use gold, can use it for private transactions to buy items. Exactly. I mean, it's just the next evolution of the monetary system. And it's moving fast, everybody.
You know,
So
it's not really evolution either. We're actually just going to go back to it
yeah,
the way it
well,
was.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
some parts of it.
Right, exactly. And again, and the ledgers that blockchain uses prevents fraudulent activity. I mean, how is it that President Obama, and I use that term very loosely, can just send $1.7 billion of cash on pallets to Iran? Because it's not being tracked. We have to track the majority of it. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, you guys. I think there's still going to be cash. It's going to be secure. They won't be able to increase the money supply whenever the hell they feel like it, and they won't be able to decrease it either. But again,
Speaking of March 9th, 2018, there's a meme with Trump putting his finger on Obama's chest, and it says, "When I'm done, it'll be like you were never even here."
exactly. The beach chair farmer, thank you for all the gifts. XRP Mama Mini, thank you. Hey, Lee Daniels here. Lee said banks are service providers. That's it. Yeah, and when we don't need that service, things are going to accelerate. Layson Steele said everything's payable with a card, no cash required. Yeah, again, if you tie that to something that is impenetrable, you have a winning solution, in my opinion. This is a good one here. Grandpa Cat said, "What's up with QFS?" Okay, I would be very leery when anybody approaches you about the QFS, the quantum financial system. Now, there are some people in this movement that promote it. I do not. I think that the majority of people that are reaching out to other people concerning QFS are nefarious. They're trying to take your money. They're trying to steal. They're trying to um, hoodwink you in some way or another. So be very, very careful when it comes to anybody talking about the QFS, in my opinion. What do you think, Alex?
1000% agree with you. There's a large group of people out there that talk out of their backside when it comes to pipe dreams and this is happening and that's happening, and so you really have to use discernment in who you follow, who you listen to, what information you take in. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to buckle down and do some learning on your own. Who are the players in the game? What companies are they doing business with? Where is the word utility? What is the utility of the particular vehicle that you're going to be using? If I'm a construction guy, I'm going to buy a truck, right? Because I need a truck bed and I need the towing capacity. If I'm, a courier and Ubering, then I'm going to get a gas economical car. Like, what is the vehicle? What is the utility of the crypto that you're looking at? QFS, quantum financial system, store your crypto with us. Like, be very, very careful because there are a lot of scammers when it comes to this. And that's where I think regulation and oversight comes in from the big guys to say, okay, here's the ground rules. This is how this is going to work so that people have some guidance to follow versus somebody on TikTok talking about Nasara, Jasara, get your QFS with me now today, protect your money, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Somebody mentioned there's a bunch of messages in the chat. I am not shooting from the hip here, people. I want you to understand 5-6 years ago is when I started learning about cryptocurrencies. I bought books, I read them, I joined online communities. I have spent hundreds of hours researching it. Now that's not to say that I'm right. All I'm saying is that it's an educated guess. Nobody knows for sure, but I think it's an educated guess to say that we're moving in that direction. So I don't want you to think I'm shooting from the hip. I've done my research and I would encourage you to do yours. James?
Well, I often call QFS a quantum financial scam. So basically, what this is really referring to, nice hat, people are using the opportunity to gain an edge in a nefarious act of theft. So people want to know if Nassar or when Nassar Jassar happens, how are we going to be aligned? Your bank account is going to be your QFS account if there even is such a thing. So just like Alex says, like Sam says, proceed with caution. Actually, steer away from that. Do your research on each and every financial institution or person you think that you're going to be doing business with, and it's not financial advice, but just be careful.
Yep. Alex, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I speak 1717. Ask Alex, what do you do for work? Just so you guys understand, I'm a network engineer by trade, have 30 plus years in the IT field. I've owned multiple consulting businesses in the IT space, as well as a data center. Our data center back in 2009 and 10 was one of the first in the country to allow people to bring their mining gear and put it inside of our co-location facilities. We had power, we had internet, we had electricity. So I've been in the crypto space almost since inception. Not financial advice. I'm not a guru. There are a lot of people out there that know way more about crypto than I do. What do I currently do? I do consulting. I do some meditation training and teaching mindset education, as well as IT on the side.
Yep.
Don't forget you're a published author.
Exactly.
And have you guys seen this background off the debt clock?
Oh no.
Universal high income, the U.S. Treasury asset-backed dividend dollar check mark, and crossed out at the bottom is the banking cartel debt-based dollar crossed out, and the Fed is crossed out from 1913.
And it's interesting because Elon Musk has been talking a lot about universal high income. And there are the two gentlemen that we had on the show, Sapioplex and JF Anon, are on that same train. In fact, I reached out to them. I spoke with them last week. They're trying to get their TikTok account set up so they can come back on the show. I don't know where they're at with it, but hopefully we'll get them back on. But that is not necessarily a bad thing. It may be something where you have to bring in something like universal high income in order to make the switch on the banking system. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
The debt clock also posted a message here recently that said silver will end the Fed.
I think the drop said the gold will end the Fed, right? Marianne Thompson just showed up. Good morning, Marianne. Magic is here. Good morning, Magic. Hometown Girl said, come on and tap, everyone. We got a long way to go. I think it's because Towie's not here. She's usually our cheerleader. Wendy J said, fraud vitiates everything. Exactly. Benji 1959 said they were referring to an LLC trading group. I'm not sure what that means, Ben. John Langlois said QFS, quick financial scam. Exactly. Very much right on the target. CG said, yes, I saw a guy on TikTok got scared of $30,000. Got scammed out of $30,000 in QFS. Yeah, perfect example. Be very, very cautious, you guys. Very, very cautious.
I've been scammed. Even at my, where I'm at in understanding the whole system, I had some friends jump on something and I jumped in, and then I did my research and found out, oh shit. Luckily the losses were minimal. And I was able to help educate an exorbitant amount of people before they ended up getting slammed. So you gotta do your research. And I'm guilty as well.
Yeah, exactly. We all have fallen for some sort of scam at some point in our lives, but that's part of the learning process, in my opinion. Let's see. XRP Mama Minnie said, end the Fed. Amen. Well, it's happening right now. Oh, Benji said Quantum Financial Services LLC. I'm not sure what that is, Ben. Maybe you can give me some more information. So, James, we're going to come to you first on this one. Lockheed Martin came out and said they have agreed to quadruple critical munitions production as a result of President Trump's leadership. We began to work on this months ago. I would argue that it happened years ago. What do you make of it, James?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to highlight something that we're spending a lot of money on that maybe we don't need to. This is all in regards to critical precision guided munitions, including the terminal high altitude area defense and Patriot interceptors. It's highlighting a $194 billion backlog. A new facility is being built called the Munitions Acceleration Center in Camden, Arkansas, and it's supposed to increase their production 4x. So for the people in Camden, Arkansas, congratulations, you have the U.S. military on your back door. What it doesn't highlight, or it highlights how much money this is. It's a ridiculous amount of money. But if you compare what Israel has in a directed energy weapon to mass takeout, they can take out swarms of drones and they can take out missiles at a moment's notice. It doesn't matter if it's hypersonic or supersonic. Directed energy weapons can catch up to it, can get to it, and it's instantaneous. For a directed energy weapon to have an engagement, it costs $2 to $3. For these missile systems that go, it can be in the millions. So budget. I think a directed energy weapon in this sense makes a lot of sense.
Yep, Dave.
And James, don't you think what Israel has is really our stuff?
Absolutely.
More than likely, yeah. And it's like you said, 20 sites across Arkansas, Alabama, Florida, Massachusetts, and Texas. That's manufacturing jobs have increased for this over 60% since 2017. But at least there's some investment going back in the U.S.
Yep, exactly. So moving on, we've been talking a lot about what's that? Did I miss somebody?
Keep going, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
The chat is on fire. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. So we've talked a lot about nuclear energy in the last year, in the last 6 months even. We've talked about Enron's nuclear egg. We've talked about reactors that are the size of a microwave, others that are the size of a shipping container. Well, it looks like California, that has had a moratorium on new nuclear energy for 50 years, is going to change their tune, and they're going to bring nuclear energy back to California. Alex, what do you make of it?
Money. I mean, money. California can't afford not to. With these data centers wanting to expand, and you've got Silicon Valley, one of the largest think tanks in the world for technology, with the game plan that Trump has put in place in the administration, that these large data centers and other facilities have the ability now to file for energy licenses to be able to set up their own power plants on site, which they will not use all of the power that they're putting in place. That puts more power into the grid to help lower energy costs. It's brilliant.
Yep. James?
Well, this is kind of interesting, Sam. They've been cutting out a project like this for 50 years. They tried to implement a high-speed rail that's never had a foot of track laid. They got bridges to nowhere. It prevents new construction until the federal government can demonstrate technology for a high-level waste disposal. Diablo Canyon Power Plant can operate till 2030, and the ban is halted. And this ban halts new nuclear development. But wasn't it just not too long ago that we put 3 C-17s in California that took out a nuclear reactor?
Exactly.
Just curious.
It's happening very quick, Dave.
Yeah, I tell you what, if it was Arizona or Nevada, if they were smart to build something right on the border and ship it over there for 5 times the amount, that'd be the smart thing to do.
Every time I see that muddy gun, I'm gonna get one of those poles just so I can jump on it every time the muddy gun comes. Thank you, XRP Mama.
No deal.
Hey,
no deal.
I didn't say I was taking off my clothes. I just said I'd get on the pole. Full Mental Jacket is here. Good morning, Jeremiah. Glad you can make it, brother. Wendy said, we can do it. Absolutely, we can do it. John Langlois said, do the do. Exactly. Squiggly77, Craig is here. Hey, Craig. All right, so, James, we're going to come to you first on this one again. USS George H.W. Bush is deploying to the Eastern Mediterranean. This will be the 3rd carrier strike group in the region. What do you make of it?
It's actually more than 3. From the U.S., yes, 3. But we have France. We have another aircraft carrier on the way. It allows for, and this is the part that I don't like to report because this goes against everything that we want as a country. It allows for sustained, prolonged military operations and increased pressure on Iranian military capabilities. The U.S. will have long-term maritime presence in the region. But just think about it like this. If trouble is going to be somewhere, us as a country are going to be in the region regardless. Those boys, men and women, are out there getting paid. They're going to patrol. You don't think they want to pull the trigger? Yeah, they all want to pull the trigger. But it's giving them a presence in a region where we need protection the most. But I think it also signifies what all the different countries that have been fired upon by Iran, they're all wanting a piece of that hide as well.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
Yeah, it's coming out of Norfolk, Virginia. It's capable of carrying about 5,000 personnel and 90 aircraft. And their motto is freedom at work. So
Yep.
it's adding to the excitement over there.
Yep. Alex?
Peace through strength.
Yeah, 100%. XRP Mama said, I'm fully dressed here. I am too, XRP Mama. I was just joking. Chad Lemon being grandma said that'd be good entertainment. I don't know. It probably would be.
Our numbers would plummet. Our numbers would plummet.
I didn't say I was taking off my clothes. Jeez, you guys.
So you're saying that pants are not mandatory to do the show. Thank goodness.
Oh, I didn't say that, but okay. Richard, Blue Flames 41, thank you. XRP Mama, thank you for all the gifts, everyone. Mama Bear said I'd be paid to put it all back on. Oh, stop it, Mama Bear. John Langlois said, please wax first. Come on, you guys. Oh, my gosh, you're cracking me up. All right, moving on. So Joe Rogan had a podcast over the weekend, and he talked about, according to recent reports from the Telegraph and others, Epstein hired private investigators to stash computers, to stash files, and potentially incriminating materials like photos and videos in these lockers to dodge the raids as far as back as 2005. Now, we know that they've discovered or they've released another 47,000 plus files. And then let's not forget about Kash Patel talking about the burn bags that they discovered. And now all of a sudden there's storage facilities and there's other things. How much more is going to get revealed, Alex?
If you were going to sit down and you were going to just, plan it out, you could dump it all at once. You could, then let the chips land where they may, or you could slow roll it. You could slow roll it right up to the primaries.
Yep, exactly. James?
Ooh, didn't think about that, Alex. That's a good point. I think it's rage bait. I really do believe that. I think everything that was in the files have been discovered. They've combed it. They've probably already been through it, and this is already probably a part of this 3 million documents. 3,047,000 documents that have come out already. I think it's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and it's a slow roll. I think believe me, Trump knows everything that's in there and the team. No question in my mind. Dave?
Yep, you're exactly right, Sam. It's no different than the burn bag. It's like, how is Joe Rogan and his guests going to say, oh, by the way, Epstein happened to have some storage units across the United States of America. It's just like, hey, release us out when you guys can, and we'll bring it out and slow roll it. There's no doubt about it, because it's like, that's the first thing I thought of was the burn bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what we found. We don't know what it was in the back corner.
Exactly. Hey, Allie Mae just joined us. Hi, Allie. Wendy J said, Alex, you're going to have to make an AI of Sam on a pole, or I might have to. That's actually Dave's job. Dave is the one who needs to have an intervention on the cap cut.
I'm out. I'm taking 2 weeks of vacation. You know what?
Oh, my gosh. Kevin Kiesler said, but when are the perpetrators going to be arrested? Well, that's a really good question. I think in a lot of cases they already have been. We just haven't been informed of it at this point. That's just my opinion. But there's no way that the Q drops could be as accurate as they are if there wasn't a plan in place. There's just no way they could predict something 6 years ago that happens today. It's just not possible. So hang in there. It's moving in the right direction. Benji 1959 said they have it all. Absolutely, I agree. Ben, absolutely good. John Langlois said there's more in Biden's glove box. Exactly. Oh, my gosh. Lisa Maria said Dave will be sending that new AI in the group text later. Oh, my gosh, you guys. All right, moving on. So we talked about Kristi Noem and according to the mainstream media, her being fired, right? When in reality, it was a promotion. What's that? Oh, don't be rude. Don't be exactly. She's now the head of the new alliance of the Shield of Americas. Well, what's interesting, MJ Truth Ultra over on X talked about President Trump saying that there's 17 nations formerly entered. In other words, it's already happened. Another D class, Dave?
Yeah, and maybe, well, I mean, it makes sense. Here we are talking about 17 again out of nowhere. It's amazing how they're including a lot of the Central America and everything else. So it's a back burner. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, James.
Well, you have to realize that the position was created to combat narco trafficking and further solidify United States primacy in the Western Hemisphere. During the invite-only summit, President Trump also mentioned Colombia, the world's largest producer of cocaine, near future target for military action over drug trafficking, much like what we're already doing in Mexico. So a lot of people don't remember or didn't hear that the president of Mexico signed a treaty with the American military that we can come over there, use our whatever, Rangers, Delta Force, whatever we decide we need, and it's okay for us to go take them out. That's a big move for Mexico, but Colombia doesn't know what's about to hit them.
Yep. Alex, any comment?
Can you say goodbye to UN? Can you say goodbye to NATO? Can you say goodbye to the bureaucracy BS that has invaded the nations that are around the world? Like, if there, we said this before, if there's no more boogeyman, then what is the point of a UN or a NATO? And we have clear and present threats and danger in the Western Hemisphere when it comes to China's fentanyl, the drug cartels in the middle part of the country, and in Canada. Like, it's bad. It's bad. They have infiltrated local, city, state, county, across our entire country. It's bad. So I didn't like, and we talked about this last week, the narrative from all news outlets. Christine Nome fired, Christine Nome fired, Christine Nome fired. Well, now she's sitting at the table of even bigger guns.
Yep. Extreme Diecast said most have been dealt with. We are going through the formalities. And I think there's a lot of truth in that, Extreme. Absolutely. And over the weekend, what did the White House post? They posted a picture of a pilot with 4 simple words: Patriots are in control. And I think that absolutely, there it is. Exactly, Dave. Can't really see the words, but that's exactly it. And it says Patriots are in control. And I firmly believe that. Alex?
The F-18s, does everybody know what those are? The most precise, the most precise, one of the most precise flying teams in the world would be Blue Angels. Is that not the same plane? The same group also produced from it the first Blue Angel female pilot. You talk about the elite of the elite. They picked that group and put Patriots in control for a very specific reason. I think there'll be more to come on that.
Yeah. XRP Mama, thank you for the gifts. Nismore, you June 2024. Thank you. James?
You know, absolutely. The precision aircraft that we put out, and Dave's got it right. It is the new war party, and they're nothing but a bunch of badasses.
Pureblood Holly John said, he's a looker. Oh, no, we got another Pete Hegseth deal on our hands. I'm sure Lisa Maria must agree with her. Native San Diegan's here. He said Top Gun Maverick. That was, I just rewatched the new one again and the old one. I love those movies. They're just great. And they did great in the box office. What a concept. Make a movie that people actually want to see. And it's happening with all the Paramount deal and Warner Brothers. It's happening quicker than people realize. And I, for one, am glad to see it. All right, everybody, let's see. We're 107,000 likes. I didn't think we were going to make it, but boy, oh boy, we did. Hey, David Rawls just showed up. He said, Happy Commonwealth Day. Welcome in, David. I was wondering where you were today, brother. All right, so 108,000. I think it's everybody over on YouTube and Facebook will be signing off now. You know, the commies over there don't like us dancing to the YMCA. So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9.